Look at us. We are fancy. Doing a walk and talk. Look, they pulling me up the hill. Doing a walk and talk where y'all actually can see the dogs. Although the walk and talks are designed just for audio. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep them under the light so that y'all can see how they mobbing and stuff. But I hope everybody's well. I want to talk about something that's important, and that's mental and emotional toughness. You know, I didn't ever know until, hindsight is 2020. Mental, emotional toughness. I thought of my past, it just came to mind. And the reason why I'm speaking on that is because, just because a person's got muscles or older, doesn't necessarily mean they have mental and emotional toughness. Don't get me wrong. Some type of training sometime. What is that sound? It's like howling. But some type of training can give you some mental toughness when you're training, and you're especially doing it when you don't feel like it. And yeah, it can help out. But some trauma, if you can keep yourself and if you can reason is one of the greatest things that can help you in your emotional toughness. I remember I was with a woman before, and we were reading scriptures on prophecy and then how it can get really challenging and really scary. Civil wars and stuff like that, famine and all that, World War, all kind of stuff. You know what I get what I'm saying. And I had told her before, I said, one day you're gonna have to imagine that if you don't have your daughter and you don't have me. Imagine that. Feel the pain of what that would feel like. And try to imagine to where it brings you to tears. And the reason why I said that, I had learned this thing from this one story I heard about this spy who, in case he was to get caught, the torture that he would experience, he put himself through the torture so that he wouldn't break. And I was like, wow, So I adopted that understanding, and I empathize with that because I've been through so many different things that could have broken me, but growing up in foster homes and you going from home to home to home to home to home to home, you kind of get an idea and understanding of how people work side. And there was times when I first started going through the system and I've been through it all my life for the most part, but some of the first times, you get comfortable for a couple months and then you get rooted up and you have to leave. And the first couple times it hurted my feelings, and I just thought, okay, this is just how it goes, whatever. But it did hurt my feelings. And then after a while, certain times going through different foster homes, and I can't tell you how many I've been through, but after a while, although they were kind to me and there were beautiful homes and stuff like that, I knew that there was only a certain period of time in which I had to be with that family. And I'm just a little child reasoning, you know what I'm saying? So I knew, okay, it's a nice home. You can enjoy that, but don't get comfortable. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Good. Don't get comfortable. So, the foster parents will say one thing. Oh, we really like you and your sister, and we want you guys to stay with it. Next, a month later or weeks later, we're packing up. Social workers coming to pick us up. And after a while, you just accept it. You just understood it. And instead of going through the pain of it, you kind of understood it so that you wouldn't have to experience the pain. You know what I'm saying? You might go through some thoughts quite naturally, like, dang, I'm tired of this type of stuff, but you were packing up and you understood. And I thank God that the path that was designed for me, because it really made me a lot stronger than good morning, a lot stronger than I had to wave with my camera in my hand, so sorry about that. But a lot of people in these communities are fond of me because they're used to seeing me walking with the dogs. So shout out to the people who are subscribed in my community. Shout out to y'all. I hope everybody's doing well. So what I'm about to say is the path that was designed for me allowed me to be a lot stronger, and a lot stronger than a lot of my peers in a lot of areas. And what happens is I would understand certain gems that I would meet. The Most High just gave me that understanding to listen to this person, listen to what he had to say. Remember that. Don't forget that. This, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? You might even get that from listening to certain songs. A person might drop a gem, and you might adopt that idea. Kind of like when Tupac said, "I don't want it if it's easy." You know what I'm saying? And I always adopted that. And I used to have, when I was a young player, I had some beautiful women. When I was a young, mature player, I had some beautiful women, and that would make it too easy. I'm like, dang. And I was just like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to pass on that, because if she made it easy for me, she made it easy for everybody else, and I ain't not trying to catch no disease or get her pregnant. So a lot of beautiful women, sorry, dirty. A lot of beautiful women would look at me like, what the heck? Don't get me wrong, some of them I did what I had to do, but some of them I passed because of that quote that Tupac said. And I looked it up to Tupac at that time. So, come on. So, back to dealing with mental toughness and emotional toughness. I would explain to my ex, hey, think about that and feel the pain of that, so that, Lord forbid, if we do have to go through that, or if you have to go through that, you can still move forward. You can still move forward. And you have to see yourself past those type of things. And I had learned, I don't know when in life I had learned this, but I learned it early on. And I had told myself, nobody and no one will break me. I would always put myself through strenuous things. I would always do certain disciplines when I didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? When I didn't have to, because I was always keeping myself out of the space of being comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of my life, I've always had my own place. Since 18, I had my own place. And then I let roommates move in and stuff like that. But all my life, I've had houses, condos, and stuff like that, always. And I thank the Most High for that. But in those times, there was only a small season of life where I was like that bachelor. You know what I'm saying? That bachelor that was kicking it and living that bachelor playboy life. But majority of my life in those scenarios, I always practiced self-discipline. And a lot of people would be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I would be living like this and living like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Because my life as a young person was already challenging. And I didn't want to put myself through even more challenging situations as an adult. So I was like, nah, I'm going to be wise. So I always lived a life of discipline. And I thank the Most High that was a gift of mine, because I still eat the fruit of that discipline. But, man, you have to constantly put yourself in an uncomfortable state to grow. So whatever situation that befalls you, although it might sting you, you got to feel the pain. A lot of people will try to run away from the pain. Feel the pain, but see yourself past it eventually. If you learn to see yourself past it eventually, then you are on to something. You're on a path of redemption. You're on a path of glory. And it's nothing like living a life when you're so full of hope, even when you're still trying to pick up the pieces of a situation that went negative, or a situation unexpected. Because life's going to hit you with unexpected situations. And even women, you guys can eat this game up too. Chew the fruit, spit the seeds. But when you can have hope in the midst of darkness, you cannot be touched. You know what I'm saying? And a part of having that hope in the midst of darkness is not caring what other people feel or think about you. To hell with them. If they're not trying to pull you out of that situation, to hell with them. And majority of times they're not. Unless you have a real peculiar friend. A real special friend. And some people are fortunate to have those type of special friends that are sincerely there. You know what I'm saying? But majority of the humans on earth, they're kind of like, cool, I could pass them up now. Or cool, I'm not the only one suffering now type energy. You know what I'm saying? They have those type of evil spirits on them. And the reason why I can say that with all confidence, because the majority of people are not aware of the spiritual realm. They're not aware of the spiritual realm. And a lot of people are demon possessed. They're demon possessed because they hold no truth. They hold no truth. They hold no reverence of the Creator. They're full of lower vibrational disciplines. And I wouldn't even call them disciplines. They don't have any disciplines. So therefore, they're getting pulled to left and right by their lower nature. And people with lower natures, all they can do is pretty much act. They're just actors pretending to have a higher nature. But really, they're consumed by their lower nature. So basically, they're like, aha, I'm glad. Now you see, now you're not on the high horse or anything like that. But you have to just say, you know what? That's part of life. It happens. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand that ups and downs are part of life, and now you might be going through one, it helps develop you. It helps develop you, and you could never stop being developed. And the way you take on adversity is a true testament of what type of man or woman you are. And the scripture says, gold is refined in the fire. So if you want to be pure gold, you're going to be refined you want to be pure gold, you're going to be refined in the fire. You're gonna be willing to go through some stuff in order for you to shine. And the hotter that fire gets, the more pure that gold is. But see, I'm breaking down these things in life that I experienced with you guys, and I'm giving you guys allegories and similitudes because I read, I study, I meditate, I listen. I've always been a listener. When I was 19 years old, I used to have coffee regularly and hot chocolate regularly with a man that was 60 years old. He would come pick me up, and we would just chop it up about his life, chop it up about my life. And he would always give me game. And this is an older white guy, Bob Quiggle. I love Bob Quiggle, man. He was there for me. And I was just this little young street cat going to church, the same church that Bob Quiggle went to. And we taking a liking to each other because I was able to still be me and he was able to still be him. And I love that, man. Thank you, Most High, for allowing me to meet Bob Quiggle. So basically, I always liked it to learn, and I always liked to learn from someone else's experience to give me the guide. You know what I'm saying? And I always knew that I always wanted to be a guide to people. I always would give wisdom and guidance to my friends and family. And now I'm at a place where I make this platform to give guidance to those who may be seeking for it. Because after a while, like I said, friends and family become more competitive. You know what I'm saying? They become more competitive, and sometimes the way they view your ups and your downs, they gain opinions of it. And truly, people are not your friends, and truly, some people are not your family because you're related. So you have to understand that. Don't be committed and don't get caught up in the loyalty of knowing people because you have certain things in common. People want to let you know who they are and that they love you and they care for you by their actions and their behaviors. So you have to discern that too. You definitely have to discern that, or you'll get caught in a trap and you'll be serving relationships that don't serve you just because you went to school with somebody, just because you guys came out of the same womb, all that type of stuff. Don't let those type of things keep you crippled. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you're supposed to be committed to is the ones that are committed to you and the Most High God, the Creator, the one who created you. Be not crippled. Be committed to growing. Be committed to learning who you are, the powers, the gifts that the Creator has deposited in you. You have to figure and learn how to pull those things out. You understand? That is your main mission in life. And when you start learning how to pull your powers and your gifts out, then you start to help others pull their powers and their gifts out, you know, and you're going to gain those powers and you're going to be so excited and want to share it with friends and family. They're not going to hear it. That's when you increase your network and you start meeting people, and then you start going to find people who are interested in the same things that you are, which is going to inspire you. And, you know, you're going to start lifting people up as you continue to grow, because it's not going to stop. I'm under the philosophy and the way of thinking that the older a man is, the smarter he's supposed to be. And you can see that a lot of men and women, they don't adopt those type of philosophies because as they get older, they're not responsible for their health. They're not responsible for their diet. They're not responsible for their well-being, their state of mind. They just deteriorate. And who said that you're supposed to deteriorate as you get older? You're supposed to become stronger, wiser. You understand? You are supposed to become stronger and wiser. And you don't see that in the society. So since you don't see that in the society, doesn't mean that you have to accept those norms. You develop your own norms. And then eventually, your vibration will allow you, if it pleases the Lord, to meet other people with those same vibrational norms. And if not, you got to be willing to do it by yourself. You understand what I'm saying? This path, you must be willing to do it by yourself. If you're waiting for a kumbaya situation, good morning. Thank you, brother. Yeah, you must be willing to do it by yourself. When you are able to do it by yourself and be content with that, if someone comes along your path for whatever season, whatever length, it's all bonus. Look at it like that. Don't think that you need to have somebody laboring next to you in order for you to push yourself forward. I'm gonna leave it like that. We out. I'm gonna enjoy my dogs for the rest of this path, and we holler at y'all later on. Peace.